Hey everyone, my name is Brandon Gregory, and I'm the director of the Fatherhood Academy. I want to take a quick minute today to introduce you to an amazing new resource for dads. We are going to be launching over the next few weeks the Two Blue Lines podcast. It is a pregnancy podcast for men. So if you are a man and your significant other is pregnant, this is a podcast that you cannot go without. It is short. All of the episodes are 18 minutes or less. There's only 10 episodes if you don't count the introduction, and I don't really, it's just an introduction. And the podcast walks you through 5 weeks at a time, each section of pregnancy. Pregnancy lasts for about 40 weeks, give or take, and for each episode there's a special topic that we cover. So talking about morning sickness, talking about the baby bump, talking about what a baby moon is, how to name your baby, what to pack in your getaway bag when you're going to the hospital. All of those things are topics that we tackle in the Two Blue Lines. Now, we have been working really hard to produce the Two Blue Lines podcast. We have written it, we have recorded it, we have edited it, we have distributed it, and we are very excited that this is going to be rolling out. Back in February, I attended a conference called the Dad 2.0 Conference. It was an amazing chance to connect and to be inspired by a lot of people who are doing some amazing work online in the realm of being a dad. I want to give just a couple of shout outs to a couple of guys that I met there at the Dad 2.0 conference that really stood out to me and inspired me. One of the guys is named Ben Kaloy. He is the podcast host of the Military Veteran Dad podcast. I will link his show in the comments below or in the video notes. Ben and I had a conversation after the Dad 2.0 conference. I got back here, he went back to where he lives, and we hopped on a phone call and we talked about what he was planning on doing over the next year. And he really encouraged me. He said, you know what, there's not a lot of pregnancy podcasts out there for men. You should do one. Because that was my realm, that was what I do all the time, is talk to dads about pregnancy and sexual health. And so I let his encouragement kind of stew in my brain for a little bit. There was another guy there. His name is Mark Savant. He has a couple of different podcasts. I knew the Actidad podcast when I met him. I got introduced to his podcast. But he's got a couple of entrepreneur things that he's doing. And I've seen him around since that conference. I followed his stuff, and he is just so active and so professional and so generous with his tips and tools. So I've loved seeing what he's doing, and his work really kind of inspired me to also get into it. So a huge shout out to Ben Kaloy and Mark Savant for their encouragement and for really kind of being generous with their time and their talents in that way. So check out the Two Blue Lines podcast. We're going to be not really dropping a new episode. We're going to be highlighting a new episode every week. Every Friday we're going to have a little post up that says this is the episode, this is what it's about, but you don't have to wait for that episode to drop. They're all available right now. You don't have to wait for any new content to come out. You can pick and choose your stage of pregnancy, and you can say, I want to listen to episodes 1, 3, and 7, and the rest of it I don't need. And that's totally great. Our aim is for this to be a useful tool for dads. So if you know of a dad who just found out that she's pregnant, show them the podcast. If you are a dad who just found out that she's pregnant, look up the podcast. It's called the Two Blue Lines, and it should be available everywhere that you get podcasts. If you find anything that doesn't work, shoot me a message. I would be happy to look into how to fix that stuff. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the Two Blue Lines podcast.